Good Motivational Monday, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I think are most important to changing your life and taking life to the next level today, coming up. But first things first, if you're new here and if we're just meeting, I am Chase Corrington, and this is the Chase Corrington YouTube channel, where we seek to achieve and maintain happiness through enlightenment, and where we're seeking to discover the hidden mysteries of our reality and the hidden wisdom of the ages, ladies and gentlemen. I'm passionate about helping people find happiness through enlightenment, what I like to call enlightenment, but really enlightenment to me is living in peace, living content, living happy, happiness through peace, enlightenment. It's pretty much like peace through peace, happiness through happiness. There is a way, ladies and gentlemen, to go through the things in life that we are supposed to suffer from and not suffer at all. Wouldn't that be amazing? So, there's 3 things. It's so, what gets me motivated? I do these Motivational Monday videos to hopefully help people reach the same thought processes that led me to be so motivated about life the way I am right now. And the number one most important thing that I had to do that changed my life, that motivated me to take my life to the next level, that got me excited, that got me pumped up, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're here right now, then you're somebody, if you're here listening to this, then you are somebody that's interested, or you are already changing your life and beginning to take life to the next level, to another level. And the number one most important thing for me in that process, ladies and gentlemen, going back a few years ago, I was asleep, and I was not living consciously. I was not, thinking about my dreams. I was not advancing confidently in the direction of my desires and my pursuits, endeavoring to live a life which I have imagined. Those weren't things that I even considered. And what started changing my life, the number one thing that I had to do to begin this process of taking life to the next level, was taking responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say it again, taking responsibility. You might be asking me, well, taking responsibility for what, Chase? I'm talking about taking responsibility for your entire life. For where you are in life, for the decisions that you've made, for the places that you've gone, the, situations that you put yourself into. So often in life we seek out to blame others for why it is we are where we are. And that is the opposite of taking responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, because when you blame somebody else, when it's somebody else's fault, then what can you do about that? If you are where you are in your life because it's somebody else's fault, somebody made you go this direction, somebody made you go that direction, somebody, even if somebody attacked you, people will blame childhood. That's the most common one. They'll say, oh, I had a terrible childhood. Or, my parents treated me like crap, or they set a really bad example, and this is their excuse for why they're making terrible decisions in their life. And they create this excuse, and what this does is allow them to continue to make terrible decisions. And then they expect different results. And even if they don't expect different results, they still just blame it on, the excuse. We create an excuse. And I'm just going to skip over number 2 and go right to number 3 here, because this goes hand in hand with this, ladies and gentlemen. Becoming empowered versus disempowering yourself. Empower yourself, or you can disempower yourself. You can take control, grab hold, and keep your power. It's so funny. Before I started this video, I wasn't sure how passionate I would get, but this is something I'm serious about, ladies and gentlemen. When we blame somebody else for anything, when we don't take responsibility, what we do is we take our power and throw it away. We take our ability to control our life and create our life in each moment. We take our ability to dance with the Creator, or we take our power to make decisions for ourselves and choose where we really want to go in life, and we throw that in the trash. We throw it down the drain. Garbage disposal on, ladies and gentlemen. We shred it into oblivion. And then we wonder why we're so depressed. We wonder why we're not happy in life. We wonder why there's so much scarcity and a lack of abundance in our life. And we wonder why we're struggling so much. And then all of these things, as we know through the biology of a belief, or the physical situation, what am I trying to say here? The way that we think. So if we start blaming other people, when we throw our empowerment, we throw our ability to make decisions for ourselves in the trash, and then we give in and we start telling ourselves, oh, it's just because of this and it's just because of that. This causes physical illnesses. Whether you believe it or not, there's enough research and evidence out there to show that when we don't take control of our life and make the decisions that we want to make, when we allow the rest of the world to be the reason why we are where we are, and then we wonder why we're so upset and stressed out, and then we wonder why we're sick, and we wonder why we're dead at 65 years old and spent 20 years with chronic illnesses, and it just doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen. I still don't know how to explain this correctly, but this taking responsibility thing is the most important thing for changing your life, taking your life to the next level, changing your health, changing your physical appearance. I mean, this goes all the way. Physical, mental, spiritual wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, our physical, mental, and spiritual, emotional states are dependent upon our ability to take responsibility for where we are. So this might be kind of hard, because if you're in a terrible spot in life, and I'm sure everybody's got their own terrible spot in life, and And each person would like to say it's a lot worse than the person next to them. We're so quick to say, oh, but you just don't know what I'm dealing with. When we can all say that. So, in order to overcome this negative viewpoint of taking responsibility for where you are in your life, begin to consider number 2. The number 2 most important thing to changing your life and taking your life to the next level, the number 2 thing that comes after taking responsibility is realizing that everything has been necessary to get you here. It's all been exactly the way it should have been to teach us the lessons or to give us the opportunities that we needed. And opportunities can be negative or positive, ladies and gentlemen. There are just as many horrible opportunities as there are awesome opportunities. And I think opportunities is a great way to describe both negative and positive opportunities. But realize that your entire life has been 100% necessary to get you to where you are now, especially in your mental and spiritual state, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes, more often than not, more than 75% of the time, people awaken, have this satori experience, this sudden awakening, sudden enlightenment, this transformational personal discovery. 75% of the time, this happens after the worst decisions and the worst periods in people's lives. Because more often than not, we have to go through the dark night of the soul. We have to go through the valley of the shadow of death. I love the quote, if you're going through hell, keep going. The last thing you want to do is pitch a tent and start camping in hell. Because it's not going to get any better if you stop, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to keep going, and let me switch that around. If you want to keep growing, then keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Keep going, and will we? It's up to you. If you really want to take responsibility for every single thing in your life, and something that helped me start taking responsibility in my life was when I realized that things in the moment we think are so bad, 2 years later, it's not a current experience anymore, so you can disconnect. This is important. You can disconnect yourself from the emotion. You can disconnect yourself from the outcome. You can become the witness. Becoming the witness is so important in this process, in taking responsibility, taking ownership, because, so often we'll blame. I'm not talking about being hard on yourself. We can blame ourselves here and not be hard on ourselves. Wayne Dyer talks about it like you become the witness. So you realize how bad alcohol is for you. And this is something I've been doing lately. I'm going to be honest. I've been trying to quit drinking alcohol. I did a 30-day no alcohol challenge, and I made it about 14 days. And it was fantastically amazing what it did for me. The energy I had, the sleep, the clarity of thought, the spiritual. It just takes every part of your life to another level. Quitting and getting rid of alcohol. But it's tough to do. I lost my train of thought. Where was I going? We blame ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Wayne Dyer reference to not blaming yourself. It's like there's a way, like you're trying to quit. You become the witness, and you're like, oh, there Chase goes having another beer again. And it's not something to get upset about. It is your choice. It is your decision. But you can disconnect. You can disconnect from the emotional... I don't know, you can... This is tough to explain, ladies and gentlemen. You can disconnect from the feeling that I'm a terrible person because I'm having another drink and I can't control, but rather you can recognize that while you're having another drink, you're separating from your physical body and becoming a spiritual witness to your physical body, going, oh, there I go again. But my higher self knows that this is something I shouldn't be doing, so I'm going to consciously understand that in the future, this becoming the witness of my current self is going to help me make better decisions in the future. So in the future, when you go to grab the beer, instead of saying, oh, there I go again, having another beer, you can have that thought already popping up, and it may stop you. To where if you're not becoming the witness, and if you're just blaming yourself, you're going to go, oh, I just can't control myself, and I'm this kind of person, and you're going to give yourself all the reasons why you can't take responsibility for your actions and why you can't control your thoughts and control your actions through conscious living. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that made sense. Taking responsibility is tough, but it is, for me, it has been, and I have come to know it to be the most important thing for beginning the process of changing your life and taking life to the next level, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go down through 1, 2, and 3 here so you can get them in the order that I wrote them down. Number 1 is take responsibility. Number 2 is realize that everything that's happened, no matter how terrible or how good or whatever, it's been entirely necessary to get you here where you are now. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is become empowered versus disempowered. And all 3 of these go hand in hand. So taking responsibility is choosing to empower yourself and taking the knowledge that you've gained from every experience that you've had that's been necessary to lead you up to this point, to finally understand that you are empowered and you can take responsibility. Because once you take responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, there ain't nobody that's going to do anything to affect where you're going in life. I mean, people could take everything you have. Just put it this way real quick. We're getting close to 20 minutes here, and I'll try to end it up quick here, but people can take everything you have. They can take all your money, they could take your house, they can take your car, they can take your entire livelihood. But if you are empowered and you take responsibility, the one thing they can't take from you is your power. They asked Henry Ford, I think it was, they said, what? You've put so much of your life into building this incredible company and business. What would you do if it was all taken from you? If your business was destroyed? He said, I'd build another one. And that's just so powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Because when we're empowered and we're responsible, and we know that no matter where we are in life, we are the ones making the decisions to where we're going in the future. Somebody could take everything we have, and we're not going to break down and cry about it, piss and moan, and blame the world and tell people how terrible our situation is. No. We're going to do the opposite of that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take responsibility. All right, I shouldn't have been standing where I was. Maybe 5 years ago, I shouldn't have made this decision that led me to where I was today. But I'm going to take responsibility for that, and I'm going to go build another one. They destroyed my business. They stole my car. They ruined my life. I'm going to go build another one. Because ain't nobody taking my power. Ain't nobody taking your power. Ladies and gentlemen, ain't nobody taking our power. We ain't letting it happen. Because we are responsible. You know, a lot of people will talk about responsibility like, oh, you got to make sure you get your chores done and do your laundry and wash your car. This is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Responsibility is about way more than chores. This is about the decisions we make that lead to where we go in our life and how we feel about it. Taking responsibility about our life means that we're going to be responsible about how we feel about the decisions that we've made. I'm just such a huge component of beating down stress. I feel like we choose it, and I feel like it's a lack of responsibility for controlling your thoughts and your emotions. There are a finite number of people who have extremely imbalance, extremely intense physical disabilities in their brain or imbalances that are outside of the bell curve. And if you don't know what the bell curve is, that means the average. Because when I talk about this stress, depression thing being a choice, most people tell me, oh no, it's a real sickness. It's a diagnosable, and it is diagnosable. That's because they want to sell you pharmaceuticals. They want to give you antidepressants. So 5 years from now, you're comatose, and you can't think for yourself, and you're so disempowered that you blame the rest of the world, and you have no responsibility, and you realize you're thinking that nothing has ever been necessary to get you anywhere. This is what pisses me off. And this is why I'm so motivated, ladies and gentlemen, to come on here and talk about finding happiness through enlightenment, spirituality, positive psychology. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we can change our lives today. We can take our lives to the next level. And if you get value from this content, consider subscribing. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm passionate about changing lives. I'm passionate about changing the world, and I'm changing my life. And I'm going to share as much as I possibly can to help you change your life the same way that I'm doing it. Something Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, if you are unaware of Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, click the card up above and go check out his channel. He's changed my life, got me out of the fear and guilt control matrix. And if you're interested in what the fear and guilt control matrix is, search Jeffrey Daugherty, a Christian whistleblower, YouTube channel, and give us some support. Leave a comment and say Chase sent me over. But, ladies and gentlemen, seeking to achieve and maintain happiness through enlightenment is so important to me. It's so funny. I'm just going to be honest right here. I'll be talking about something, and there's so many times where I probably won't finish what I was going to because my train of thought just cuts to something new. And if my ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it, bothers you, then I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about it. Consider subscribing if this is something you get value from. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that ask for support and they don't realize that they need to offer value. And value is what it's all about. Let's run over it real quick again, ladies and gentlemen. The most important things for changing your life and taking life to the next level. Number 1, take responsibility. Number 2, realize it's been necessary to get you here where you are now. And number 3, this allows us to choose between becoming empowered versus disempowered. Ladies and gentlemen, seek to achieve and maintain happiness through enlightenment, positive psychology, and spirituality. Seek to discover the hidden mysteries of our reality and the hidden wisdom of the ages. And we're coming to you every Monday morning with Motivational Mondays, trying to motivate you to change your life and take your life to the next level. We'll be back in the future with more interesting topics to throw your way.